What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the 7-star Mightiest Mark Rock Tera Chestnut raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's back again, and I highly recommend farming this because this is going to be one of the easiest ones to do solo farming. I don't even recommend going online to do this because honestly, save yourself the hassle of all that. This is going to be super easy. And of course, guys, you're new to the channel, enjoy this type of content in general too. Please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and consider joining the Pan fam today by hitting that join member button below. So let's dive right into it. We got a couple of options for this raid, and because it is a rock type, it does have a bunch of weaknesses, but it has an interesting move set and a couple Pokemon that do work out pretty well for my testing. It's gonna be Arceus. I think Grass Tera Arceus from Pokemon Home is going to be amazing. You can also do this as a Fighting Tera Arceus, and you could run this with max HP, max special attack, modest nature, and you only need Judgment, Calm Mind, and Recover. Acid Spray does not work for this raid. Keep that in mind. You do not want to use Acid Spray. Now, if you don't want to use Arceus, I would actually recommend probably Appleton. I actually think Appleton is going to be the best Pokemon for this raid. I know I covered Arceus in a previous video, but Appleton is still the king of this raid. You can defeat this thing in about 8 to 10 Apple Acids. All you need to do is have Grass Tera, Shell Belt for that HP sustain, max HP, max special attack, modest nature. Your ability does not matter, and the only thing you need is the move Apple Acid. This move is a stab, super effective move, special attack, and it lowers the SPDEF by 1 every single time. The thing that you need to do is make sure you use a PP max on the Apple Acid so you have max. If you do not use a PP max on it, you may not have enough move usage left in order to win. So keep that in mind. But if you want to use a special attacker, if you could only make one Pokemon for this raid, in my opinion, it is going to be Appleton. It's an absolute beast. This thing is crazy. And then we have Annihilate. If you want to do a physical attacker and use the generic Annihilate, Annihilate's pretty phenomenal. Max HP, max attack, adamant nature. Once again, it's going to be Rage Fist City. Whenever you get hit, this goes up by 50, caps at 300. When you die, it's still the stack stay. You can use Screech to lower the defense stat as well. So you want to do like 1 or 2 Screeches because the Chestnut doesn't remove any of the debuffs on it. So if you hit it with like 3 Screeches, you can get it probably down to like -4 or -6 depending on your Screech accuracy on it. You don't really want to use Drain Punch or Close Combat. It's really just Rage Fist and Screech, and that's all you truly need for this. Now, another decent option could be Hisui and Decidueye with the Fighting Tera Shell Bell. Its signature move, Triple Arrows, is really good. 90 damage, stab, super effective. Has a high chance to do a crit, 50% chance of lowering the defense stat by 1, and 30% chance of flinching. Really good Pokemon overall. Max HP, max attack, adamant, of course. Decent HP stat, so you will get hurt. And I do recommend Swords Dance and Synthesis. Your last move does not matter at all here, honestly. You could maybe use Bulk Up if you want the attack and the defense boost, but you don't have a way of actually lowering the defense of the Chestnut outside of using Triple Arrows. I'm hoping you get that 50% chance. So if I had to pick between these 4, it's going to be Appleton, and then probably Annihilate. And then after that, I think Arceus and the Hisui and Decidueye are fun to try out. But I think you'll be coming back to the Appleton and the Annihilate. I've actually demoed the Annihilate in my previous solo video when this was live a month ago. But the next section, we're going to be going live with the demo of the Appleton raid. All right, so let's solo this Chestnut. We're going to be using Mr. Apple Pie themselves, Appleton. And Appleton, honestly, even with the Pokemon Home additions to the game, may still be the best raider for this raid because of his signature move, Apple Acid. And how lucky of us, we got an Arcanine, meaning that's free Intimidates whenever that Arcanine faints. So we actually don't have to worry about this raid in any way, shape, or form. And you can immediately just start spamming Apple Acid, and that's all you actually have to do in this raid, which is pretty sick. Unfortunately, we got hit by a crit immediately, which was very unfortunate, but luckily, we do have Shell Bells. We're getting that HP back, so even with a really unlucky crit, we're fine. And the cool thing about this Chestnut raid is Chestnut will never undo its stat debuff. So all those Intimidates are sticking. All those SPDEF drops from Apple Acid are sticking as well, which is really phenomenal. So we're just stacking this up, and this is honestly really brain dead. People would say, oh, Annihilate X the best thing. I mean, sure, Annihilate phenomenal for a lot of things, but it's not necessarily the best, and I think this is where Appleton is truly the king here. Yeah, I mean, it's doing so much damage without setting up. Like, we hit 3 attacking moves, and we're still in the green on our HP, even after that crazy crit in the beginning, and we're fine. You know, so yeah, this is just the guy. But I will say, of course, if you are running this solo raid without any intimidators, it will be slightly harder, but Appleton has some decent defenses. Of course, with that max HP, they give you that additional bulk. You could go max defense if you would like to on this raid, but you don't necessarily have to. We do resist the Earthquake, so we're not really afraid of any of that, honestly. It's not very effective, which is nice. The scariest thing is really going to end up being the Hammer Arm and the Stone Edge. And Stone Edge can miss. It's only 80% accurate. Has a high crit rate with that 12% chance. So you got to watch out for that. There's a little bit of RNG going on here. But now we have to be Terra because we Appled Acid the first 3 turns. Now we're even more of an apple. We are a flowering apple ready to pop off and do big things. And this is going to absolutely shred because he's -3 Spadef already. And this is going to do a good amount. Now he's going to be -4 Spadef. And honestly, like, at some point, if you ever want to do an attack cheer, you can. You can also use growth as well, or you can maybe set up an iron defense if you are worried about your HP as well. You got a couple of options here. Lower, like, nullify stat changes and abilities, which does not matter at all because once again, we're just gonna hit that Apple Acid. He's -4, and now he is now -5. And we got a crit there, which is very helpful and nice, but, you know, it just makes the process a little bit faster. But you see what I mean? He doesn't remove any of his defense drops or any of his debuffs. So we're completely fine. We got a nice dodge here. And now for that -6. Probably the biggest recommendation I have for this raid is using a PP max on Apple Acid, so you just never have to run out. And now he's max, it's -6, it's over. And once again, he's just gonna, he would remove our buffs here, which would be problematic for sure. Which is why I'm sort of against buffing in this raid in general, because it doesn't really help that much if he's gonna keep doing it like this in a solo. And all right, once again, Apple Acid. Now this is gonna be a -6 hit here. That's going to shred right through. And at this point, it's over. It's Rip Bozo done. This is... Now we're in that farming time. And this is relatively fast and safe and easy too, right? I mean, looking at the timer, this is going incredibly fast for the solo. Another Apple Acid. I think we knock him out in 2 more. Maybe this one. I think it's 2 more, though. Yeah, maybe 2. It's like a roll. Depends how the AI does for us here. But yeah, that was relatively easy. How many Apple Acids was that? This is Apple Acid number 9 coming out. Number 9 Apple Acid. Okay, so 9 Apple Acids. So I would say about 8, probably about 8 to 10 Apple Acids to solo to Chestnut with Appleton. This is way too easy. It is free. It's a free raid. It's absolutely free. We got an ability patch, which is the 1% drop, so that is phenomenal. And look at all these other rewards, like candies, XL candies. We got 5 irons, rock Tera shards, star pieces. We got an impish thing. Like, this was great. So yeah, I'm glad 7-star raids are back. We can farm these again. Hopefully get some ability patches like I did. Sell those for a lot of money, over 100K. So make all that money right there. And there you go, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If it was helpful, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time with more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet action and other video game content. Peace out and have a great one.